Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Julie and Todd Chrisley run last-minute errands before heading to Slammer. Todd and Julie Chrisley were spotted running last-minute errands just before they are scheduled to report to their respective federal prisons tomorrow, January 17, 2023. Julie Chrisley runs errands with Savannah and her mother. On Monday, the Daily Mail shared photos that revealed Julie Chrisley running errands around the family's hometown in Brentwood, Tennessee. The photos were reportedly snapped over the weekend. In the photos, Julie was spotted shopping for groceries and furniture with her daughter Savannah and her mother Pam Hughes. Julie opted for a casual look, rocking a solid black tracksuit. She was photographed casually filling her grocery cart as she made a few different stops at different shops with her daughter and mother. Todd Chrisley ran last-minute errands too. Todd Chrisley was also photographed making a last-minute run to the post office on Thursday. In the photos, he sported a black and white striped t-shirt. Later on, Todd was joined by his wife Julie along with his children Chloe and Grayson. On Sunday, they were photographed by paparazzi cameras once again as the couple headed back home together. Todd was reportedly sitting in the passenger seat of the vehicle. They report to prison tomorrow. These last-minute errands happened just days before Todd and Julie were slated to report to their respective prisons. Just last week, Todd and Julie filed a motion to be granted bail during the duration of their appeal. The bail was denied. Todd and Julie also motioned to extend their surrender date another 21 days. But the motion was also denied. So Todd and Julie Chrisley are expected to report to their respective prisons tomorrow, January 17th. As those who have been following the news know, Todd and Julie were both convicted of fraud back in June. Their sentencing hearing took place 5 months later. The sentence came as a shock to many as Todd received 12 years and Julie received 7 years. Both Todd and Julie were also ordered to do 16 months of probation as well. Todd Chrisley has been ordered to report to the federal prison Camp Pensacola. Julie was originally ordered to report to Federal Correctional Institution Marianna, which was just 2 hours away from Todd. She, however, has been reordered to report to Federal Medical Center Lexington in Lexington, Kentucky. Federal Medical Center Lexington is described as a facility for both male and female inmates that is equipped to provide mental and medical health care. Julie and Todd Chrisley run last-minute errands before heading to Slammer. The sun in Nashville that morning didn't feel quite the same. It wasn't just another day for Julie and Todd Chrisley. For years, their carefully curated image of Southern charm, glossy family outings, and a taste for luxury had painted them as a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde with a reality TV twist. But now, the cameras had stopped rolling, the court gavel had fallen, and the countdown was ticking. They had only a few hours of freedom left before the prison gates would close behind them. What do you do when your entire world is about to change forever? For Julie and Todd, the answer was clear. Run a few last-minute errands. Coffee, croissants, and denial. The couple began their day with a stop at their favorite Nashville cafe. Todd, ever the showman, swept in with his usual flair, sunglasses perched on his head, hair styled immaculately despite the restless night before. Julie followed, quieter, more pensive, yet still carrying the poise of a woman determined not to crumble in public. 2 lattes and one of those croissants. Extra butter, Todd ordered, flashing a smile that had charmed millions of viewers. Julie leaned closer, whispering, "Todd, maybe we shouldn't be here so publicly today." But Todd wasn't one to fade into the background. "Honey, if the people want one last show, who am I to deny them?" The barista, clearly aware of the headlines plastered across every news site, slid their order across the counter with a hesitant smile. Customers pretended not to stare, but whispers rippled through the cafe. Some eyes looked sympathetic, others judgmental. For Todd, it was fuel. For Julie, it was one more weight on her already burdened heart. As they sipped their lattes, Julie confessed quietly, "I don't even know what to pack." How do you prepare for this? Todd, ever the optimist, or perhaps the master of denial, squeezed her hand. We'll get through it, one day at a time. Besides, I'll have them laughing in there within the first week. Julie forced a smile, but her eyes betrayed her worry. Target Run.
Cafe,
The Chrisleys headed straight to Target. If there was ever a place to make life's biggest transitions feel mundane, it was those gleaming aisles filled with red carts and endless possibilities. Prison or not, I'm not going in without my skincare routine, Julie declared, tossing bottles of moisturizer and face wash into the cart. Todd smirked. Baby, I don't think they allow retinol in the slammer. Julie shot him a look that said she wasn't about to let her standards slip, even behind bars. She reached for a pack of plain white socks, then paused. Do you think they'll let me have these? Todd shrugged, picking up a jumbo pack of underwear. If not, maybe we'll just donate them to the commissary fashion show. I hear it's very exclusive. They argued lightly over essentials, whether Todd really needed 3 kinds of hair gel or whether Julie should bother with herbal tea bags, but in truth, the shopping trip was less about preparation and more about distraction. Every aisle was a way to avoid the looming truth. By nightfall, they'd no longer be husband and wife sharing a home, but inmates separated by walls and miles. Goodbyes that cut deep. Errands weren't limited to shopping. There were tearful visits to family. At daughter Savannah's house, the tension was palpable. Savannah, who had tried to stay strong for her younger siblings, finally broke down when Julie wrapped her arms around her. Promise me you'll take care of them, Julie whispered, her voice trembling. You don't even have to ask, Savannah replied, tears streaking her face. I'll hold everything together. For you, for Dad. Todd hugged her next, his bravado slipping just enough for a crack in his voice. You're stronger than you know, darling. Keep fighting for us. And don't let anyone write us off. Leaving their children behind was the cruelest errand of all. No shopping cart or latte could soften that blow. The gas station stop. On their way back, Todd insisted on one final detour, a gas station. Not for fuel, but for one last taste of the simple pleasures. Do you know how long it'll be before I can have my favorite sour gummy worms again? Todd asked, rummaging through the candy aisle. Julie sighed but indulged him, picking up a bottle of Diet Coke for herself. The cashier, clearly stunned to see them, rang up their items silently, though his eyes darted between them and the tabloid headlines by the register. As they walked out, Todd unwrapped a pack of gummies and handed one to Julie. To freedom, he said dryly. Julie shook her head, but she ate the gummy anyway. The drive. Back in the car, silence filled the space between them. For once, Todd didn't have a quip ready. Julie stared out the window, watching Nashville's familiar streets blur past. Every landmark felt suddenly bittersweet. The grocery store where she used to shop. The park where they'd once filmed a family picnic for their show. The church where they had prayed together. Todd finally broke the silence. Do you think people will remember us for more than this? Julie turned to him, her voice soft but steady. I think they'll remember that we were a family who loved each other, no matter what. Todd nodded, gripping the steering wheel tighter. For all his bluster, all his defiance, it was clear even he wasn't ready for what was coming. The final stop. Before heading to the prison, they made one last stop, their home. The house that had once been filled with laughter, arguments, reality TV crews, and Southern charm stood quiet now. Inside, they walked slowly from room to room. Julie lingered in the kitchen, running her fingers along the countertops where she had cooked countless family meals. Todd stood in the living room, gazing at the family photos lining the walls, smiling faces from vacations, graduations, and holidays. This isn't goodbye, Todd said, more to himself than to Julie. It's just, see you later. Julie nodded, though her tears betrayed her, walking into the unknown. By the time they reached the prison gates, the errands were done, the goodbyes said, the distractions exhausted. Now, there was no buffer between them and reality.